A couple of months ago, this tree came down, and it was a tree that we had for a while had blocked off because some rot set in the tree, and in the cavity where the rot had carved out an empty space, bees had made their hive. And maybe you can see, I'm not sure, it might be too dark, but here are the honeycombs through here and all down through here and down through there. In fact, there's a little bee that um, is still flying around here, even though the hive has been gone a long time. But the rot eventually became too severe for the tree, that in a breeze it fell over. The tree didn't fall over, but it broke in the middle and collapsed onto our path of the Stations of the Cross, and we're just now beginning to remove it. And I brought you here because it's always so interesting to see things like this for me, but also because that whole question of the rot gradually eating away at the center of the tree until it can no longer support the branches that it used to support so easily, and eventually breaks in the middle and collapses, reminds me a little bit of how much we need the examen. Because there's a certain rot perhaps that can set in our day or set into our lives that unless we attend to it, it gradually will eat away at our peace and our happiness. What the examen offers in a beautiful way is a stop during the day, or a stop at the end of the day, and to say to ourselves, where has God been active in my day, and how have I responded to God? And by doing that, we can face clearly perhaps attitudes or sentiments or movements inside of us that gradually are removing the peace and the tranquility, gradually moving us perhaps out of the deepest nourishment that we can receive from God, because something is blocking that nourishment, just as the rot in a tree blocks the nourishment that comes from the roots and passes up into the branches of the tree. Christ is our nourishment, and without checking in with Christ periodically in our lives and asking, Lord, am I living for you, or has something or other entered my life that gradually will carve out a place for itself where you cannot be, and gradually take away my peace. And so, as we faced here with this fallen tree, may our examen help us to face clearly those things within our lives that maybe keep us from the deepest peace with Christ, and gradually be able to move them out of our lives and replace them with the great peace and love, the goodness of God, our true nourishment. And that is the wisdom of St Ignatius for today.